All right. So Leilani is just gonna be the pretty one. Sabrina's the one with the best skin. Um, I'm the one with the okay lighting. Shadai is the one that has a head scarf on
It's a hoodie.
and a hoodie. And Sharif got on sunglasses inside.
I don't agree.
All right. So we are going to discuss Married at First Sight season one. Okay, I will be your moderator for the day. I will be asking you questions, and we're just gonna get right into it. Nothing to it but to do it. So I'm gonna start with Nani. So we're gonna start the first episode. We get introduced to all the couples. We're just meeting them, kind of getting a taste of their personalities, etc. So
Or lack of personality.
what?
I said, or lack of personality.
We're gonna get into the ones who have no personality. Okay, let's talk. We're gonna start with the ones who have personality. So we're gonna start with my favorites because I'm the moderator. What do you feel about Imani and Woody?
Amani and Woody. Okay, listen. Woody, I want to have faith in him. I do. I really do. Because he seems like he's a good dude. Like,
Mm-hmm.
fundamentally, he's a good dude. He might be a
Right.
little wild, little out there, but I feel like he can do this. He need to mature a little bit, cause but I think that their energies, if their energies can mesh, if their energies, if they can, understand each other and meet each other where they are, then I think that they can work. Cause like Amani seems more chill, more a little more reserved, not reserved, but like more laid back than Woody, though most people probably are. And so I think that if they can just mesh, then they will be fine. They will get through this. They might have some bumps, but I feel like they can do it.
Woody is definitely out there. He has a huge personality. Like his personality is off the charts. His life of the party, super big energy. But Sabrina, being the married one in the group right now, do you feel like his extroversion, her reservation, like they're gonna not be compatible? Because I think they're gonna be fine, like Leilani said. But maybe what you have a different opinion.
Um, I feel like as long as she's good and comfortable with his extrovertedness, then they'll be fine. She can't be like a hater. Like if you a hater, it's not gonna work because you don't have to like be as extroverted as somebody, but you can't like change somebody's personality to fit yourself. So as long as she like is cool with who he is as a person, because that's who he is. Like you could tell at the core. If you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you, but that's who he is. So as long as you can deal with that and set boundaries, maybe for like how you like to interact with people, then you'll be fine. I
Okay,
gotta go to Wingstop. So
we have two votes for they're gonna be fine. All right, we're gonna move on to Shady. Should I? Okay, should I? How do you feel like Woodrow and Amani are going to work together on this relationship?
Well, all of Woody's friends says he wasn't ready to be married, so I really don't trust Woody to like be really solid in a marriage and in a relationship. He says he's ready, but I don't think he is. So I don't really. I'm not really for them, to be honest.
It looks like Sabrina has a comment.
I was about to say, look at Shadai with the points. He making valid points.
So, Sharif, let me ask you a question. Do you feel like if your friends say something about you because they're the closest to you, that automatically makes it fact? Even if you feel like you're ready, you feel like you're prepared, but your friends are like, nah. Do you feel like your friends overrule what you think?
Sure, if you're muted.
Sorry. Well, as I was saying, I think that's a very good question. It's very interesting, but it's a little bit complex. It has a complicated answer. So on one hand, we don't know everything that we go through in relationships. Sometimes you need someone who's outside of it to, tap you into some things that maybe you had been like not really paying attention to, or maybe your focus just isn't on a certain aspect, because when you're in something, you're thinking more so about how you relate to each other, but maybe you don't really see how that it impacts or how other people see that from the outside. But I do think it's important that, sure, you can consider other people's opinions, but at the end of the day, it's your life. You got the keys. You got to put it in the ignition and drive. So if you're too,
he's ready. He's ready. That's what you're saying. Short version.
Right.
Synopsis. The summary.
I'm not saying that I don't know if he's ready quite yet, but I think that if he feels he's ready, it's at least something worth exploring.
Okay, I see Leilani kind of moving a little bit, kind of body language. Do you have a comment on that, Leilani? You got something to say?
No, I was just gonna say it's the point of this to say our thoughts and you cutting people off.
Excuse, I'm sorry. Do you want to moderate? You want to be in charge of this? I think I do a fantastic.
No, I'm good.
Okay, so thank you. No one asked for your opinion.
You did. You literally asked me for my opinion. You told me to talk.
You know, Sharif is long-winded. We gotta keep it going, okay? we gotta keep the ball moving. All right, so Woody and Amani, we already kind of talked a little bit about Woody and his extroversion, how that might be a problem. But do you feel like because Amani is not as experienced as Woody, that might be an issue in the relationship, or do you feel like it's going to be all Woody, 100% Woody's problem? Go ahead and unmute yourself.
In my personal opinion, I think that the experience isn't really a factor in this. Because either way, if you think about it, they're both leaving each other. And no matter what no matter how many relationships you've been in, you may learn something being with this one specific person that didn't work all the other times. So I think right now it's important that they take this time to really just figure out how each other work as people before they try to like force themselves into this like marriage role. Become friends first, and then figure out like how this marriage is going to work past that.
But they are already married.
I know they're already married, but it's the same thing as like an arranged marriage. Sure, you're married, but you don't really know how to work together as like a marriage unit yet. So right now, I think it's important, since either way they're married, but I think it's important for them to really just try to work on building their a rapport, building their friendship before they really try to like get overcomplicated with the facts or the very technical aspects of marriage.
I agree with that, because I feel like, you can be in a relationship, you can have a title, but if you haven't done the work and you haven't put forth the effort to actually learn someone, you can't just lean on the title. You can't just put, oh, we're married, so we have to act this way. Like, but I don't know your name. I don't know your favorite color, your favorite restaurant. That's just the basic. No, let alone what your views and values are on a deeper level. So I get it. You got to let the people learn each other. It's a new situation. I see Sabrina was laughing at me.
I was actually laughing at Sharif eating that chicken. He made his point and it was like
oh. Okay. Does anyone have any closing remarks on Woody and Amani before we move on to the next people?
Well, I want to talk about the whole just trying to be friends thing. It works. Like, I see like what you're trying to say, but it's still like you have 8 weeks to decide if you want to be married, not if you want to be friends. It's like you have to kind of lean on the title a little bit and try to force yourself to be uncomfortable in ways, because like you're in a marriage, not like you're not trying to make a friendship.
Well, go ahead, Shady, with the facts.
Well, excuse me. Okay, I first got put in check by the. How old is you? Should I shoot? Okay, we got check, right. You're right. because they have to have the attitude that they are married. But what I was just trying to say is you're married, but you can't try to force certain things to occur just because you're married. You still have to take the time to get to know one another. And by taking that time, it would make the decision easier once it got to the 8 weeks to decide, okay, do I want to continue growing with this person, or is this person not the one for me? That's all.
I feel like we don't have time. You got 8 whole weeks. I feel like you need to go out there and have fun. I feel like just go out there, pretend like y'all already married, and see what happens. I feel like I agree with Shaddai. Like this ain't friendship at first sight. It's like you either married or you ain't. Like, let's go.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next people. Okay, we're gonna move on to beautiful, sweet, amazing Olivia. I think she's awesome, and the thought that is Brett. Okay, so Leilani, I see you laughing. So I just want someone to expound upon why I think Brett is a thought. If you agree with me, and why I feel like Brett should not have been picked for this show at all in the first.
Can we talk about the bachelorette party?
Yes.
Can we talk about?
Yes. Go ahead, Sabrina.
Okay, so first and foremost, if you at a bachelorette party trying to hit on girls who are already out of your league, that leads me to believe that you're not ready for marriage. And I don't know who Brett thought he was, but he got some liquid courage, decided I have a wife waiting and I'm still gonna hit on everything moving. Cause he not ready to be married because he still got something to prove to himself because he got low self-esteem. And let's see what else I can say about Brett. Yeah, he just the worst. I'm gonna mute myself.
The worst. Okay, so Leilani, do you feel like Brett trying to flirt with people at the bachelor party was his insecurity talking, or just his F boy behavior, not being prepared to be nobody's husband?
I don't think he's not ready to get married. I don't think he's ready to get married. This man barely ready to be in a serious relationship. Like, I'm 15 and I can see that he out here like he really was flirting with, not only he was flirting with girls, he was flirting with another one of the husband's friends. Like and they were clearly uncomfortable. They walked away. They weren't talking back to him. Like
Leilani said, I'm 15 and I'm better than the experts. Leilani said.
She said, I got a PhD and I can see that he ain't it. I completely agree. Okay, Shaddai. So, how do you feel about this? A little off topic, but how do you feel about Brett completely distancing himself from all the other husbands at the bachelor party? Because I feel like that has something to do with him just not being prepared for the process as a total. But what is your opinion on that?
You're talking about when Brett left early for the bachelor party?
Yeah, when he just left and wasn't his feelings, he might was gonna talk to some other girl. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think Brett is he's kind of just going through the motions right now, and he's like not really like actually like realize that like this is like a real thing that like affects more than one person, like it affects multiple people, and like he's really not like hasn't really thought about the situation that much.
Sabrina be killing me with her facial expressions.
Because I'm like, why is he speaking? Why is he speaking so many facts? Like, I'm like, well, I could just stay on mute. So that's all I got to say. Like, I don't say it as eloquently as that. I be like, Brett is the worst. And then here comes Shaddai. I think that he's not ready for a mature relationship.
Wait. Okay. So Sharif, we all feel like he is not ready. He's not prepared. He still has some wholeness in him to get out. Do you feel like if someone is not prepared to get married, that they can somehow snap their brain into being like, okay, well, I'm married now. Let me act like I'm married, even though they're not really prepared?
I'm sorry. It's not funny, but I know this feeling very well. My opinion is that, hey, I feel like a lot of times with men, especially, men don't grow up in a culture that tells them they have to be adult, they have to like have basic skill sets to take care of themselves or whatever. They don't even, and like you have to really have it all together. Women have to come into the marriage with everything. That's the culture we live in. That's what people are taught. The women are domestic. They're taught and they have to cook and clean and just bring everything to a marriage. So I think the question you're asking is one, funny in the sense that it almost doesn't matter. Like it is important, it does matter, but it almost doesn't matter within the context of the show anyway, because like she'll still raise them. You have a lot of women who like you have a lot of people in general who are just so desperate to have a title, so desperate to be married for the very little conveniences that marriage affords them, that they're willing to essentially take on the role of being a large caretaker for someone who really should be able to do for themselves. A lot of people don't want to be married, but they get married. I think Brett is kind of in the same boat. He doesn't really want to be married. He just feels that maybe it's about that time, he's getting to that age. He wants his little white picket fence and his little man cave where the boys can come over on Saturdays or watch the football game or whatever. And he is going into this looking for someone to kind of take care of him that way that he either cannot or refuses to do for himself.
I agree with that because Brett for sure is 35, but age is just a number. But I also don't feel like Olivia's a sucker. And I don't think Olivia, even though she's sweet and kind-hearted, I don't think she ought to just take him being out here acting a fool because she wants to be married. I think she has better standards and more self-respect than that. Just be like, okay, well, I'm married. I have to make it work. I don't think she's going to take that. I don't agree. No.
And honestly, I don't think she should. I really don't.
Can we be superficial real quick? So what did everybody think about, like, hold up, what was I about to say?
Because you think Brett is ugly. Is that what you're going to say?
Because he for sure was at the bachelor party talking about if she don't find me attractive, she crazy. But he said that she would be like crazy, right? And I'm just, wait, what? And I'm just over here like, but you ain't cute though. And I feel like he got ugly boy complex. Like he was unattractive and never got the girls. Then he started lifting weights. And now he think he cute. So now he trying to treat people the way he was treated. But I really do think he wants to be married. I think he acts out like a little child because he's not, he needs therapy to get over whatever happened to him when he was younger.
So can I ask you a question based on what you just said, Sabrina? Because I do think that's a very interesting point, and I want to hold on to that real quick. You say that because of certain things that maybe have gone unaddressed in his upbringing, that he perhaps isn't ready to be married, even though he may desire it. How has your experience as a married woman, how does watching the show, as someone who has been married, not necessarily through these sort of channels, but has been married for a substantial amount of time, how do you think that's affected the way you see relationships and dating compared to how you might have seen it before you were married?
I don't understand the question.
So essentially, you're talking about all these things about growing past from where you were as your younger stages, and maybe the things that you need to fall out of, your little your problematic habits or so. What do you before you had gotten married? Would you think that you would have been in a similar place in your life? What would you say that you were closer to where he is right now, or would you say you're somewhere on the other spectrum?
I'm 100% Brett. I was a childish nightmare. I don't know how I'm still married to this day. Like,
Because Alan love you.
right? But you have to have somebody who like can differentiate between like you just being like extra. But I also am good at, I think, verbally communicating why I'm acting crazy. So I'll be like, I'm in a mood because I'm hungry. And then if you keep talking to me and I keep being moody, that's your problem. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good at telling people where I am in my mood. Like, I don't want to talk right now. But if you're the type of person who, if somebody says they don't want to talk right now, but you are the type of person that, no, I need to get it out. I need to get what I'm saying out right now. Then you're not going to work with somebody like me, because then it's just going to escalate. Because now I told you that I needed time, because sometimes I have to get my thoughts together so I'm not disrespectful. So if I don't have that time to get my thoughts together, you just go get this disrespect. And it's just like, I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, caveat, because I'm dating right now, and something happened with us, and he walked outside, and then he came back inside, and I wanted to talk about it, and he's like, "I'm fine." I'm like, "You just left and went outside. Like, let's discuss it." He was like, "No, I'm fine. I don't want to talk about it," and it was driving me crazy. And he had to tell me, "I don't care. I just want to go outside and get some fresh air. It's not that deep." So sometimes people just think too hard into things. But back to the original point, we hate Brett. I'm on Brett's hate team. I don't like him at all. Okay,
Brett,
so
hate
high for Brett. Okay, so do you feel like Olivia is going to assert herself in this relationship, or do you feel like she's going to be a pushover and just allow Brett to treat her like crap?
I think Olivia is going to at first kind of like try to like figure him out, like kind of like feel him out, and then she's going to kind of like learn him better, and then that's when she will assert herself in the relationship.
Do you agree, Nani?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Like she's gonna try to feel it out, try to see like what Brett is about, and then once she realizes that he ain't about nothing, then she gonna be like, okay, get your stuff together, or I'm leaving.
Okay, so that was very enjoyable. Very enjoyable. Okay, we're gonna move on. If no one has any other comments about Brett the Freak and Olivia the Golden Heart, we will move on. Let's see if we have any closing comments in the church and the dancery. Okay, no closing comments in the dancery, and Sharif is frozen. All right, so we are going to move on to Karen and Miles. So I love them both individually. I think Karen has some issues she needs to work through, but I feel like most of her issues are just normal. Like, you're meeting a stranger, you don't really know what's going to happen, so she's just a little bit concerned, and her mom is like, whoo, all up in her ear. So, Leilani, what do you feel like Karen is going to psych herself out and not be able to move forward with this process, or do you feel like she'll calm down and like get to center?
I mean, I think she's gonna get married. Like that's a given with the show, because like they're not gonna air all this stuff just for it to be like, oh, they backed out. But but I'm worried for that one, because I feel like if Karen goes into this with that negativity and that like apprehension, and she doesn't like put herself into it and give her all because she's scared, which obviously, like, understandably, she's scared of getting hurt, she's scared of it not working out, all that stuff. But I feel like if she focuses too much on those fears, then she won't leave room for her to grow with Miles.
Can I just say that I have the most emotionally intelligent teenage siblings on the planet? That was such a great comment, Leilani. Okay, so Sabrina, Do you agree with Leilani, or do you have anything to add to what she just said?
What I have to add is I stopped watching it for like 3 or 4 seasons, this show. Because the one thing that I was so tired of is like, oh my God, I'm marrying a stranger. Girl, it's literally in the title of the show. Like, I need y'all to pull it together. Yes, you're marrying a stranger, but you have to either go in open. I understand stuff come up during the time, but I feel like leading up to it, it's fine to be scared and be nervous. But once you make that decision, you got to jump off that cliff or like not. So it's a little bit annoying that, especially, I don't know if we're at the end of the episode yet or not, but that she got that text message and was crying in the bathroom. It's a little bit annoying because, first of all, you should have just kept with the prospects. Second of all, why are the producers still allowing them to have their phones? Third of all, it's a mess. It's a whole mess. And fourth of all, why? What do you mean he too emotional?
I mean, okay, so let's just be real here. It's like you want a person and a partner who's emotionally available, who, if you talk to them about something, they'll listen to you, they'll be a lending ear, they want to hear you. But Lacey Dacus is very emotional. So because I'm very emotional, if I had a partner that was very emotional, I would be feeling like Karen, because how you gonna bring me back to earth if you crying too? I need some center. I need like a balance. I need you to be like, Lacey, chill. Everything gonna be okay. So maybe that's what Karen is saying. Like, he's just too emotional. And
But my thing is, I'm assuming because she said she watches little stories, and she said little, and that's the shade I'll be using on people. So after she watches little stories, I'm feeling like these are the stories leading up to the marriage. So you can be understanding if somebody's articulating how they feel about maybe the journey they're going through to get married. Because at the same time, he marrying somebody he don't know either. And if he's like using his stories to kind of articulate that or be like, because I doubt if a grown man is going to be on his stories crying. So because of the way she said it sounded like he was just talking about his feelings. So if somebody he wasn't on there boohoo crying, like.
that's true. Because if you can talk about your feelings, what you gonna do for me? So I have a question for you. Do you feel like Karen was doing the most with her runaway bride feelings and wanting not to get married because of Miles and his social media? Not talking about the producers and their negligence and how ridiculous it was that happened. It was probably for views. But let's just talk about the fact that she's trying to run away.
Um, about her being, crying in the bathroom, she was she has never been fully committed to like doing this from the jump, and she's always had her doubts. So like the closer it is, like she just wants to like she's just kind of looking for a way out, and so like it kind of, I guess, all her emotions kind of hit her at the same time. I don't know.
So you feel like because she's not fully committed to the process, that she's using his social media and him being emotional as an excuse to just get out of the process in general?
Yeah, I think at the moment that's what she was doing.
Valid point. Okay, Samuel, what is your opinion on Karen and her being super anxious about getting married to Miles based on his social media, and how that's going to affect their partnership and their union?
Look, I said it last week. I said it. I said to watch episode 1 and episode 2. Like,
we're talking about episode 1 right now.
Are you talking about episode 1?
Yes.
Oh, I don't think they're gonna last, bro. I just don't think it's gonna end up. She's tripping. She's already overreacting. I already don't like it.
Well, hey, Jamie, was overreacting on season 1, had a whole panic attack, thought Doug was ugly, was crying in the corner with her mama, and now they got 2 kids, and there's a special where she did a home birth in the water. So, we never know. They just might pull through. Sheree?
I just want to say I'm glad I'm not the one editing this.
Okay, Sheree, we really value your opinion. Oh, are you working now?
Yeah, my bad.
No, Teddy Riley, you're not that.
Y'all got 3 people in the same house. Sharif, you could just go upstairs.
But I'm already downstairs.
You know what?
You sound like you down in the basement, and we don't have a basement.
Because your audio is terrible, okay? So, Sharif, we was supposed to say we really value your opinion, but we're going to move on unless you want to move upstairs for now or figure out this audio problem because we got to move on with the program. So, we already discussed Amani and Woody. We already discussed Brett and Olivia. And we already discussed
Karen and Miles.
Karen and Miles. Oh, I have a question to Sabrina and Sam about Miles. We talked a lot about Karen and her anxiety, but do you guys feel like even though his friends say he's prepared, that he says he's ready, do you feel like his age is going to be a problem?
How old is he?
He is 26 and Karen is 30.
No.
Can you give us a little bit more? No. Real flat.
Because I'm 26, and I feel like my age would be something that would prevent me from being able to do something unless I decided what I wanted to do in life. I don't feel like this is a decision that has to do with age. This has a decision to do with maturity and the point you are in life and who you want to be and what you want to do for your future. It has nothing to do with your age.
Okay, so do you feel like Miles is ready?
If he say he is, Miles shows me he's more ready than Karen. So, and Karen's 30, so get off Miles' back.
I'm not on nobody's back. I'm the moderator. Okay, my job is to ask questions. So Thero Skin, aka Sabrina, do you agree with that statement?
About age?
Yeah, about if Miles says he's ready, that he's ready, and it doesn't play any factor with his age, and also the point that Sam made that he's more ready than Karen.
I think he thinks he's more ready than Karen. I think Miles really wants to be in love, so he's more open than Karen. So he has a better chance of finding love just because when you're more open and more I'm just going to put my all into it, yeah, you have a greater chance of being hurt, but you have a greater chance of getting reward too. But if you start off already looking for, oh, he's this, oh, he's 26, oh, he's that, oh, he's not my type, then you setting yourself up for failure. So to me, if you're gonna go into it like that, then just stay home. Take the dress off. Go eat ice cream. I don't know what to tell you.
All right, I feel it. So we see Sharif has taken our advice and he has joined Die. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Woo! Glory to God. Show it up. All right, so Sharif or Shaddai, do you have any closing remarks about Karen and Miles before we move on to the cutest dorky people on the planet?
I just believe in Miles with my whole heart. That's all I gotta say.
I don't believe in anything.
All right, so Sharif believes in nothing, and Shaddai wholeheartedly believes in Miles.
Me too, Shaddai. Me too.
Okay, so Miles got this on period. Okay, on period. Okay, so let's move on to Bennett and Amelia. You guys know I love my dorks. I love my weirdos. I am self-proclaimed a weirdo, and I just love them. They bring me joy. They bring me happiness. They make my skin glow. That and Throw skincare, Sabrina be having me on lock. You feel me? But
that ain't even the name of my company, but okay.
Throw skincare.
Thrayo, not throw.
Thrayo. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit
The shade.
turned up. I'm a little turned up on a Thursday.
Sabrina,
So,
when you start selling pillows, Throw. Y'all ain't got no comedic timing. Y'all don't use your brain.
No, he's mad at us because he ain't funny.
You better think.
I didn't hear him.
Yeah, she named her business after a pillow. That was not funny. Okay, anyways, so Bennett and Amelia. So am I the only one that is a Bennett and Amelia stan, or do we have some other Bennett and Amelia stans?
I love them. I love them.
Okay, I'm gonna ask a stupid question that I could just ask Google, but I don't feel like asking Google, so I'm gonna ask y'all. What does stan mean?
You ain't heard of Eminem?
So let me go down meme history lesson for you. So Stan originally comes from the Eminem song of the same title about his obsessive fan who writes him all those letters.
Oh,
and the song ends in a murder suicide.
Yeah. I had to say it was Eminem, and I would
but
have
now
got that.
today it's taken to more so just be someone you extremely support. So it's like if you like Kendrick Lamar enough, like
I get it, Streets. I get it. Like I said, all you had to say was
Stan.
Eminem. I get it.
Okay, Sharif, we have the understanding. Okay, so is anyone else? Alani was talking before Forgotten Dreams down there cut her off. So we're going to go back to Alani. Thank you.
Forgotten Dreams talent management.
I love Bennett and Amelia. They're both very weird, and I feel like their weirdness will mesh so well because like they're the same kind of weird too. It's not like they're like completely different. They're so similar, I feel like, and I feel like they're really going to just complement each other. I'm excited.
Excited then, okay, with the extra D. Okay, so Sabrina, I have a question for you because some of the experts were a little bit anti-Bennett. I think it was Pastor Cal saying he wasn't prepared, he was immature, he had no job, really getting on his neck. Do you feel like that's going to be an issue?
It would be an issue for anybody else except for who they put him with. Because she like, take my name, I'm a doctor, I want to, you stay home, raise my babies. But he also has interests, so he's just not like staying at home doing nothing. It's just that his interests don't make money. So, you don't really need your interests to make money when your partner makes money. But it's not like he's sitting at home on the couch. He's doing things. He's just not doing things that society considers like a manly thing to run a household. But he doesn't need to run the household because Amelia, like, I got this. I'm a whole doctor.
And he can run the household and she can run the money that funds the household. Okay. So should I and Sharif down there with the moving screen, what are your thoughts and opinions on Bennett and Amelia?
About Amelia and Bennett, I think it's gonna work. You asked if I was a stan. I'm more of a fan. I'm not stan level yet, but maybe I'll get there. We'll see. We'll see.
But can we talk about how cute Bennett was at the bachelor party in the corner, like dancing? He was like, "Whoop whoop, go Bennett, go Bennett, go."
He's so adorable.
He was living his best life. He was living his best life. I like the fact that they put him in situations that he probably not familiar with, but he just goes with it, has fun, and he's completely himself. He didn't change character to be in that situation. He just had fun as his quirky, weird self, and he didn't let like anything kind of bother him. and he wasn't inappropriate like Brett.
Yeah,
I do want to
thought
point
it was
out.
awesome.
Hold up. I do want to point out that even Woody, the thing I like about Woody is that even Woody got the bornest person in the world to get up and bust a move when he got Henry out there. Henry had on his little groom button and Henry was two-stepping with the stripper. I said, well, look at God.
I was literally going to say that. I was like, I feel like that's what I love about Woody. Even though he has a party vibe, it's very supportive. Like, he's very supportive. And he just wants everyone around him to feel good and be happy. And I feel like, even though we're talking about Brett and Amelia, I feel like that will help with making Amani and his relationship work, irregardless of the fact that some people think he's not ready. I think he gonna be fine, just like his fine face. Sabrina, did I use the wrong word?
I was just trying to figure out if irregardless was in the dictionary.
Irregardless technically is in the dictionary.
Thank you for clearing that up, Sharif.
Thank you, Dr. Sharif. Okay, Samuel, do you have any comments on Brett and Amelia?
I just can't wait to see when they make their 2-person 5-instrument band. Can't wait. Can't wait.
So adorable. So adorable. All right, anything you want to say, Shaddai and Sharif?
Yes, we would like to both say that we just wish all the couples what they deserve. We hope they get everything they deserve. We're not gonna wish them the best, because what if they don't deserve that? We just gonna hope that they get everything they supposed to.
Sharif, where'd you pull that from?
I don't know, because it's new marriage. You don't know what you're gonna get, so we just hope they get the best.
You just said you don't want them to get the best, to get what they deserve.
That is the best for them.
Make up your mind, okay? Make up your mind. Okay, so this is probably gonna be real short because they're boring. So Henry and Christina, all I gotta say is that they're boring. I'm probably gonna fast forward as many of their scenes as possible. I'd be like, is it over yet? Can we go to the next one? Because I'm asleep. Does anyone else have anything to say about that?
I have something to say. Actually, it's not appropriate.
Watching him is like watching paint dry, okay?
I was also gonna say that the whole time, all Christina did was this by a tree. And then she walked real slowly. Nobody bought me flowers. And I'm like, I'm sorry if nobody bought you flowers, but maybe it's because you're the worst.
So basically, Sabrina is saying I'm the worst because no one's ever bought me flowers either. My feelings are kind of hurt.
But I bet you if you put out into the ether of anybody who actually cared about you and liked you that you wanted flowers, somebody would buy you flowers. That's all I have to say.
I've never been bought flowers, but I've been given a flower. Because
But my point is, she was in a whole 5-year relationship, and in 5 years, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, it was a long relationship, and she apparently really wants flowers because that's all she was talking about. So I know if she's talking about it to the TV, she was talking about it to him. And the fact that he did not care and she still stayed around for 4.5, 5 years, 6 years, however long, means that she got bigger fish to fry. First of all, you need to stop standing by trees looking at your left engagement ring finger and maybe go find somebody who listens to you.
I'm weak. Saba, do you have anything to say?
I just don't I don't know what to say. They don't, I need to see with them more. They don't give off personality enough for me to comment.
Yeah, they're
I have
super
a
wide.
question for Samuel. I have a question for Samuel. If somebody that you were dating really liked flowers, and you thought, okay, so you might think to yourself, flowers are a waste of time. I take her here, there, everywhere. We do everything together, and you feel like the relationship is going well, but you know she likes flowers. Would you buy flowers?
I would have been bought flowers. So when I first started talking to this one female, she told me that I
Woman.
heard saying female derogatory. So this
Yes, it's
one
like
woman,
female dog, female cat, female bird. It's very rude to say female. Okay, don't
female
say
human. Why? Because y'all all
no.
mammals. I don't get it.
No, we don't like it over here. Change the
You
vocabulary.
don't you don't have to get it for us to be offended. Just like people
Whatever.
who say certain words of other races, and we say they mean a certain thing to us, and they be like, "I don't get it. It's in the rap song. I should be able to say it." We said, "Don't say it," so don't say it. You don't have to understand. Just
I'm
don't.
not saying because it's in a rap song. I'm saying because it's what males and females are. But whatever. Moving on. I was talking to somebody and they said that they don't like flowers. So the next time I brought fruit, like I just do things because I know that you want them. And so if you don't want them, I make it known that I would do in a situation where I would usually do this. I've thought about something else because I know that you don't like that type thing. So
All right. So, in conclusion, Brett and Olivia, from this episode, are they going to stay together or are they going to get a divorce? My vote is divorce. If your vote is divorce, raise your hand. Oh, we have a unanimous vote. Ooh, consensus. This is a different kind of call. All right. So I think that Imani and Whitney are going to stay together. If you agree, okay. So Samuel, you do not agree. Speak on it.
nah, I'm saying no. I don't know yet, but I'm saying no. At this current moment, I'm saying no. I gotta side with the homegirl. The homegirl says he ain't ready. I gotta go with this homegirl. I know mama and auntie say it, you know, whatever the case may be, but the homegirl, that's the one you really talk to and really open up to when you don't tell even your homeboys. Like, if she don't think you ready, big dog, it just worries me. It worries me.
I mean, that's for sure true because my homeboys tell me things they don't tell their own girlfriends. So the homegirl definitely be knowing. Um, Shaddai and Sharif, I didn't see your hands on that vote. So give me some information, some insight as to why you're shaky or why you feel like they're not staying together.
I just have a feeling that on decision day, they will agree to stay together, but when we go to the reunion, they will no longer be together. That's how I feel.
In-depth thought. Okay, Sharif, what you think?
Mm, right now, I would like to piggyback off what my brother Samuel has said, and that right now it doesn't seem like he knows what he wants. Like I saw this like meme on Twitter the other day that's like, just because I know what I want, don't mean that I don't want you. No, I'm sorry. Just because I don't know what I want, don't mean I doesn't mean that I don't want you. And I feel like that's where he is. Like he don't really know he want to be married. He don't really know if he even like her, but he's still kind of like her enough that he's willing to somewhat explore this. So right now, I'm just ready to see where it goes.
Okay, for sure, for sure. Okay, so let's move on to the next couple. So, what do we feel like Karen and Miles are going to stay together? I say yes. Clearly, I'm prejudiced. I want the black people to stay together. Okay, so I didn't see Samuel's hand or Sharif's hand, so I guess Sharif gonna agree with everything Samuel says. So Samuel, what do you? Why do you feel like Karen and Miles are a dub?
I just don't like Karen. Like, I feel like she's already being judgy. Like, people who judge you off of social media is low key toxic. Like, because it's like they're letting the projection that you give of yourself on a social platform determine who you are as a person inside. And I'm just like, I just people like that worry me, and I'm worried about them. And because she's older, I just feel like I don't know, she just doesn't feel okay with it, and she's gonna just make the decision quicker that whether she's in for it or out for it, and I just don't know what it's gonna be.
I agree with what Shaddai said earlier because Shaddai was like, what he said about Karen, I forgot now. Dang it.
I think I said that she was never fully committed to the process.
Oh, that's it. That she was looking for excuses not to like him. And that she was using his social media as an excuse because she already didn't want to do it.
And you know what? That's a good point that you bring that up. I know a lot of people that I've just encountered, like talking to my friends, watching them go in and out of relationships, where it seems like the only thing they like about the relationship is the idea of it. But once it comes down to really try to make those judgment calls, someone's like, I don't know, he chewed too loud. I don't know. I usually like him 5'8" and he 5'7 3/4, and that's not gonna do. And then I feel like when you're really nitpicky about those minute details, especially when you're getting to know someone the first time, then it usually just shows that you're not, for some reason, you have some reservation or trepidation about yourself that won't put yourself fully into the process. So I think if she can't open herself up to the process, then it's a failure to launch. The prophet Beyonce once said,
Don't call Beyonce a prophet. Don't do that on God's internet.
Don't a prophet?
Do that on God's internet. Call Beyonce
a prophet?
Don't do that on
we
God's
are
internet.
A semi-mostly Christian-based family. Beyonce is not a prophet.
The
prophet will not tolerate such blasphemy.
She is probably the queen of entertainment, but she is not a prophet. A prophet she is not.
Anywho, Beyonce once said, it's like we're at the same places, but different paces. And I think that applies to their situation right now. They're in the same place, essentially. They're in similar, like, places in their life. They're in similar, I guess, relationship positions and statuses because they both agreed to come on the show. But I think they're moving at different paces, which is going to cause them to go on different pathways. They're not moving, again, it goes back to the whole unification thing. They're not moving as a unit. They're not moving together. And they don't really have that collectivist mindset that I think any successful partnership needs. Right now, she's too concerned about keeping up with the Joneses, keeping up appearances in a way. It's like she's afraid for some reason to bring her full, authentic self to the table. So anytime she sees something that's slightly not perfect in her eyes, it shatters that illusion of like what a perfect ideal marriage is, she gets disillusioned, and it causes her to really look for reasons to self-sabotage.
So before Sabrina falls over and passes out, let's move over to Brett and Amelia. Unless someone else has a comment. Did someone else have a comment? No? Okay.
I want you to stop mixing up Brett and Benny because woo Chile. Brett is the worst.
We love Bennett. We don't like Brett. We love Bennett
and Amelia. I am so sorry. All right. Cut. Okay. So
the disrespect.
Cut. So before Sabrina passes out, let's move on to Bennett and Amelia. I say they gonna stay together. They gonna live happily ever after, have nerd babies, and bicycle on into the world.
Also, I just want to say Bennett is a theater kid, which automatically brings him up a couple notches. Like,
couple weird notches.
Hey!
Boo! No Bennett hate is tolerated on this platform here.
What about Bennett?
Hey, it's only hate if you think.
What about Bennett indifference?
You either like Bennett or you don't like Bennett. Okay, we like Bennett, so you ain't
We're-
off
What
the
if I
island.
still
Like
need?
Bennett.
What if I still need a little bit more information first? I need to just see how. I just need to see how it plays out a little bit more before I make my judgment call.
Bennett is the romantic thespian. That's his title.
Which means he's an actor. He is so accustomed to playing roles. Maybe he's just trying to be who he thinks she needs because he's used to playing as different characters. You gotta
He
watch
don't
the
know her.
stereotypes.
He don't even know her yet. How he playing a role for her that he didn't even know her?
Exactly.
I feel like the weirdness will keep them together.
Bennett is authentic can get. Don't be talking about he an actor because he a thespian, okay? He can separate his career from his person, period. All right, so we talked about that. Did we discuss Olivia and Brett, the ones that we know getting a divorce? Or did we do that?
Yeah.
Did we do that already?
Yeah, we did it. We discussed every couple.
I need to know.
But I don't think we discussed David or Henry and Christina.
They're so boring. We struggle to even remember their names. That's how horrible they are. That's how useless.
Care if they stay together.
I feel like they'll stay together because they're just both just who cares. We made this decision. Let's go ahead and figure this out. Oh well.
All them people in the pre-match episode is so boring. But all them people in the pre-match room that they have to choose from, they have the nerve to pick Henry and Christina. Like that, it's just a waste of TV and airtime.
They want
Exactly.
5 couples, but they only have to do the work for 4.
No, but I'm just saying, like, you want to make a show about couples. That's fine. Can we make some people we want to watch though? It's still a show. Like, I still don't want to be put to bed. Like, I don't need no nap story. Like, I don't care if y'all get along. Get along in your own time. Y'all should give them each other's phone number and let them do it off screen. See if it works. Like, oh, we think you would be a good match with Henry, Christina. Here's his number. But y'all too boring for the show. Because we can't do this. That's what should have happened.
And that's on period. Or they should have gave, I think Sabrina made this point when we were on the phone talking the other day, that they should have given Olivia Henry and just let Christina and Brett fail together.
Off screen. Fail off screen together.
Well, I think that concludes our synopsis of episode 1. Thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. We are the beautiful family that has no name. And we hope that you join us next week as we discuss episode 2.
And share it too.
Terrible.
Remember to share, spread the word.